Hey Taurus, welcome to my channel. This is Venus Baby Tarot. This is a channel just for Taurus and Libra. So I'm going to give you your messages this week regarding love. We're going to see what's coming in for you in love. If you're looking for a personal session, excuse me, you can book down below, and please be sure to like and subscribe. It really helps me grow my channel. Okay, Taurus, let's see what's going on for you in love. The Ace of Candles and the Ace of Pumpkins. Ace of Wands, Ace of Pentacles is on the bottom of the deck here. Taurus, let's see. Let's see what's coming in for Taurus in love, please. Okay. What messages do you have for Taurus in love, please? This week of September 11th through the 17th, I believe. Okay, we've got these three cards that just popped out. So we have the Queen of Pentacles, the Temperance card, and the Page of Wands. Interesting. So what I'm kind of getting here is... There it is. I knew it. Like, I literally felt it. I felt the Ace of Pentacles. That's why I was like, I've got to shuffle this again. Like, I felt it. Okay. I don't know. It's crazy. And look at that. There's the Ace of Wands again. So what I was going to say is that I feel like it looks like a new connection here. I honestly feel like this has required a lot of patience from you, Taurus. You know, the universe has taken its sweet time with this. And I feel like, you know, it's been a long time coming. Taylor Swift. Anyway, and I mean, look with the Queen of Pentacles. Like, look at her. She's just so, I don't know. I'm just getting like luxurious. So proud of herself, you know, so self-assured, so confident. Like, I love this energy here. And I mean, with the Page of Cups, the Temperance card could be a Sagittarius here, could be a Capricorn, but anyway, we'll get into majors in just a second when I do some clarifying. But I mean, it definitely looks like fresh new energy. Like, somebody's got a crush on you. Somebody's like, you caught somebody's eye. You see how this person's like, look over there. Like, you've caught somebody's eye. And I feel like I'm also getting like, it's the way that you move. Maybe the way that you walk, the way that you carry yourself is just like so appealing to this person. Okay. All right, Spirit. For some reason, my hands are not working today. So it's like really hard for me to shuffle. All right. It's been raining. Tell me about the Queen of Pentacles, Spirit, for Taurus. Ooh, the High Priestess. I'm telling you, I feel like it has to do with the way that you carry yourself. Like, just, I don't know. I also kind of get this sense that look at that, the Knight of Cups. Like, I feel like you know that this person is into you. Tell me about the Temperance. Seven of Cups. I mean, you know, Seven of Cups can be options. It can also be dreams. It could be fantasies. Like, and I feel like, honestly, with that Temperance card, like, I feel like you've been sort of envisioning what you want. Look, oh my God. Like, it just, like I was gonna say, the Magician. Like, you've been envisioning what you want, and you've been like putting that out into the universe, and bam, Magician. Like, y'all, the Nine of Cups is on the bottom of the deck. Like, I'm telling you, you have manifested this. And I feel like you manifested it just by like sitting back, you know, taking care of yourself. I don't know why I just keep hearing Luxurious by Gwen Stefani in my head. I know, I'm a millennial, everyone. I can't help it. I just am. Temperance card again. The Temperance card, ooh, there's the Judgment. And that could be why there's an Ace of Pentacles and an Ace of Wands. Let's see, I did 2, 2, 2. I'm not going to have enough room. I'll do 1 for the Ace of Pentacles. Two of Pentacles. Let's do 1 more. 10 of Wands. Yep, I knew it. I knew it. I knew it. I just knew it. There are 2 energies here. Is it Luxurious by Gwen Stefani? Because now I'm singing in my head Glamorous by Fergie. Okay, anyway, millennial things. Okay, so like I was saying, it looks like Judgment, 2 of Pentacles. There is something that, you know, there's been a lot of heaviness around the situation, burdens, you know, that kind of thing. It's some baggage. I feel like there's something that's being released for you this week. Or it could be give or take a couple of weeks, you know, depending on your situation. You know, you could have this person blocked, for instance. But I feel like it's like there's something that you are releasing. Like you're getting some sort of closure, some like finality on a situation. Now, I gotta be real with you guys. For some of you, though, like this is a person that's returning and you're giving new life to the connection. Like you're getting some clarity because this 2 of Pentacles, and you know, 2 of Pentacles is typically like weighing things out. You know, it's really trying to sort of find the balance or make a decision on what needs to be dropped, or how you can make it work with both energies, depending on the situation that, you know, the 2 of Pentacles is in, right? So like if it comes out and it has to do with like work and home life, you're trying to find balance. If it has to do with love, there can be 2 energies involved, but it can also be trying to find balance in a connection, okay? But like this 2 of Pentacles, they're meeting together. They're connecting together. It's very similar to the 2 of Cups in this deck, right? And, you know, it's like there's a meeting of energies here and sort of a stabilization to take you out of this 10 of Wands. And like I said, for some of you, you're going to want to rekindle. You're going to go from the 10 of Wands to the Ace of Wands, okay? Because there's some stabilization that's happening here. And what I mean by stabilization is like any inconsistencies, any lack of clarity, conflicts, things like that are going to be resolved with this Judgment card, to where I feel like you both see a higher perspective. You're both able to see each other's perspective. And because of that, you're able to build a foundation between the 2 of you. And that's what I mean by the stabilization, okay? And with the Temperance coming out twice, it definitely looks like there is some peaceful energy that's coming to you this week, okay? And I feel like honestly, I feel like in terms of a past person returning, you already know what's happening. You've been dreaming about them, or you just feel their energy, or you see signs, you hear songs, you receive messages in your dreams, or you're just, intuitively, psychically in tune with this energy coming in. Like you just know it with the High Priestess, and dun 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 dun, here comes the Knight of Cups, okay? And I feel like, honestly, I feel like in terms of a past person returning, you already know what's happening. You've been dreaming about them, or you just feel their energy, or you just, you see signs, you hear songs, you receive messages in your dreams, or you're just, intuitively, psychically in tune with this energy coming in. Like you just know it with the High Priestess, and dun 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 dun, here comes the Knight of Cups, okay? Now, because of the fact that I also feel like a new energy here, and I know not everybody's waiting on an ex, I will tell you that the original thing that I was saying was that you know that somebody likes you, or that you just know that this is the time that it's going to happen. I feel like you honestly could just know in your soul, like, this is the moment. Like, this month, or like between this month and next month, you're going to end up with somebody. Like, I feel like you could just know that, right? And with the Seven of Cups, this could be somebody that you've met online. Or I mean, honestly, like I was trying to say before, it's like while you were in your life finding peace and balance, and luxurious and glamorous, like you were treating yourself amazing. Like, you have just been taking really good care of yourself, Taurus, and treating yourself the way that you deserve to be treated. And honestly, you guys, like, as a self-love proponent, I am here for that energy. So, okay. Anyway, but like I said, in that time of, finding this balance and harmony and peace within your soul, and honest, this actually came out in the last reading I did for Taurus, because Taurus, is the Four of Swords, and I was just like, you have peace in your heart, and maybe for the first time in a long time, if not ever, you know what I mean? And from that space, you've been able to get really clear on what you're dreaming of, what you want, like, get really sort of narrow it down to what type of person you want to be with, what kind of relationship you want to have, whether it's monogamous or it's polyamorous, or, whatever, fill in the blanks, okay? And, maybe you have a certain type. And like I said, you've been really exploring these things. And with this magician here, like, you're manifesting it, you have called it into you, and you just know, like, I'm telling you, you just know, like, this is the time. Like, it's just happening. Like, I already know. I feel it in the freaking air. And what I feel is that, like, if this is a new connection for you, the Page of Cups and the Temperance card here, like, I truly feel like this brings you so much serenity in your life. Like, this is somebody who's going to add to your life, not subtract from it. Now, because the Judgment card also clarifies the Page of Cups here, like I said, this could be a past person coming back to bring balance into the situation, to try to see if you can make something of this, and maybe even take it slow, you know what I mean? But, to be really honest with you, for some of you, it is both of those things. And I have to be real, because when I see, like, aces here, and the Judgment, 10 of Wands, 2 of Pentacles, 7 of Cups, like, I will often look at that as there is more than one option, okay? And especially when I see, like, things like 2 aces, you know what I mean? And so, but I do feel like you're gonna go in the direction of what works for you, like, because how do I explain that? Going in the direction of what works for you. Because sometimes it's like we really want somebody, but we just know deep in our soul, it is just not going to work. Like, it's just not going to work. Like, we've tried, and we have tried, and we have tried, and we just cannot get on the same page. No matter how hard we try, no matter how many temperances come out, we just cannot seem to get on the same page. And even though you may want that person, I feel like, you also could intuitively know, like, this is just, it's not going to work. Like, we gave it a good go, And so I do feel like you're going to go for the option that works for you if you're one of the ones that has more than one option. Now, if this, like I said, because you have past energy here returning, and we're still wrapping up Mercury retrograde, the last day is on the 15th, and then we have the new moon in Virgo on the 14th. And which, I feel like will definitely create a lovely trine with your sign, Taurus. So that's good, right? It shouldn't be too harsh on you. Not that new moons are harsh. I mean, it guess it really depends on how they're aspected. But in any case, it's breathing some new life for you, Taurus, and it's definitely going to be more in the flow. And so, like I was saying, you know, for those of you that there's a person that is, you know, coming back, you know, you are going to, and that's like the only option that you have. You, I feel like, are going to find a way to make it work. Okay. It's really interesting because I actually want to ask a little bit more about that Knight of Cups. Let's see. Let's get some oracle messages here for this. That was fast. Okay. You got wedding rings. So I'm getting 2 messages from that. Either this is a situation, and this just clarified exactly what I was going to say. This is a situation in which you are going to find that this is going to be the person that you're going to marry. If you believe in marriage, right, which is what I feel like you are sussing out here with or investigating, exploring with your 7 of Cups energy and Magician. But because the Grim Reaper came out, I was actually thinking, or this is somebody who is married, but the relationship is over for a new connection. Additionally, I guess it's not just a new connection. It could be a past person that is going through the process of, you know, divorce, their healing journey, all of that stuff, or ending a relationship. And then that person is like on their way to you. Yeah, and then you start, look at that, and you start talking with this person. And it's really interesting because I feel like with this take a chance energy, I feel like, you know, for some of you, you could be a little hesitant, you know, especially if they've just gotten out of a relationship and you're just, you know, like, I know for me, like, I have my rules. I have my rules, and I don't typically date people fresh out of relationships because I believe that the healing era is just so vital and important for us. And I want that for everybody. And so, you know, I have rules on that. And you could very similarly, you know, be like, I don't know, I'm a little hesitant, you know, especially if they're still going through the breaking up process and, you know, the separating finances and all of that stuff. You know, it can get kind of messy. You know, you may be kind of exploring whether or not this is the option for you. But I did notice it says take a chance. And so you may need to step outside of your comfort zone or outside of your box a little bit. You know, and I definitely don't believe in like wavering our boundaries so much so that we are, that it is a disservice to ourselves, right? But there are some boundaries that we set that can be wavered a little bit because, you know, the flexibility in life is where, you know, the opportunities for growth and the humanity in people is. And so what do I mean by that? What I mean is that sometimes, like, you know, I'll use my example again about people just getting out of relationships. Sometimes there are people who have already fallen out of love and left the relationship long before they actually moved out, you know? And so those people are ready to move on as soon as the relationship is over because they've actually like gone through all the motions. They've gone to therapy, like, you know, they did all the things. They've already entered their healing era. They just hadn't completely separated, right? And so those little bits of flexibility, or those moments of flexibility, is where we can see the differences in the human experience instead of being so stern or so rigid with our boundaries, okay? And that's what I mean. And so you may need to take a little bit of a risk and be willing to sort of push outside your box just a little bit, okay? Yeah, you have control power issues. And so you got to be really careful not to try to control your own, because I mean, oftentimes I know for me, if like I have high standards. I have really high standards. And sometimes I have to ask myself, is this a standard to protect myself? Or is this a standard that's just in alignment with my values, you know? And it's important to know the difference between trying to protect ourselves, because I mean, pathways to protection can close off pathways to connection. And so it's going to be really important not to try to be in control of everything. Now, I feel like this could actually, hold on, I'm going to get a couple more. Okay. Look at that, as we're getting over here. Okay, towards this area. Now, for some of you, Taurus, I'm getting like that you have a very guarded heart. And I feel like you have a very guarded heart because you could have been through really toxic relationships, relationship abuse, which can be emotional, physical, sexual, financial, etc., right? And because of that, you could have a very guarded heart. And so I feel like for some of you, like you're gonna want to start out as like friends with this person. I'm looking at that Page of Cups. You know, you're going to want like to take this off, like, you know, sort of take this in moderation. You know how sometimes, like, especially with the Ace of Wands, like we just like fall into a relationship and we have a whirlwind romance, and I'm sure everybody's experienced that. But I just kind of get the sense that for you, you're very focused on I hate to say protecting yourself, because I'm also getting, it's not just protecting yourself, like it's really just, I feel like you're just trying to be careful. Like you're just trying to be careful with your heart, you know? Yeah, you're guarded. And yes, when we're guarded, we can be overly protective with our heart. And that's why it's important to ask yourself, are my standards coming from, you know, being self-protective, or am I or are these just my values? Because self-protection can be a double-edged sword. I mean, sometimes it's good. You know, sometimes we need to know when to protect ourselves. But sometimes we can overly protect ourselves and sabotage good things because we're hyper-focusing or hyper-fixated on red flags or yellow flags or even green flags that we might perceive as red flags, if that makes sense. Because we're just so... we're just so scared to get hurt. Okay, anyway. And I feel like that's why you have this altered view here. Because I do feel like you're going to see things different. You know, I feel like you're going to start to see people that come into your life a little bit differently. Or if this is a past individual, there could have been some toxic issues between you and this person. And there's going to be a point of connection in which you build like a friendship that could turn into passion, right? But either way, whether or not this is a past person or a new person, which both those energies are here, it does look like you're going to just move carefully. Like I said, could be establishing a friendship, and it's going to move into, you know, a passionate energy here. I feel like in the past, some of you dealt with somebody who was very domineering, controlling, possessive, and because of that, like, you're really scared to allow yourself to fall for somebody because you don't want to be controlled, you know? And I feel like you've done a lot of work to heal this Temperance energy twice. Like, I feel like you really tried to heal yourself from the past. And it's like you're just sort of needing to find the sweet spot, Taurus, because I feel like you need to take a risk, but I also feel like it's like you don't need to be too risky. And I feel like you need to protect your energy or safeguard your energy, but not overly protect your energy to the point of sabotage. And it's like you have to find that sweet spot, you know? And I feel like in that sweet spot is, at the core of it, is a deep sense of value in yourself and knowing what your values are in a relationship. And when you know these things, when you know them in the core of your being, then anytime anybody exhibits any sort of questionable behavior, which I don't see that here, you'll understand from my point of value for myself and my values in relationships, this is not going to work for me. Versus, oh no, they did this thing, I'm so freaking scared, you know, I can't do this anymore. You know, it's like responding versus reacting kind of energy. Okay, so let's see here. I'm going to ask about this past energy. Sorry, my throat is kind of itchy today. Tell me about this Judgment. What does this person want to say to Taurus? I want to have a family with you. So, yeah, I didn't treat you right, and I see that now is on the bottom of the deck. I'm sorry I took you for granted. I was miserable in my own life. Yeah, they were obviously projecting their own issues onto you. I have tried to replace you, and I can't. No one is you. Our souls speak to each other on a level I have never experienced. Yeah, and I see that. And I definitely see that. Like, I see with this wedding rings and the Grim Reaper, like, something did not, for this past individual here, something did not work out for them. And, you know, and I feel like it could have been somebody that they ran to, or maybe it was somebody, like, okay, I'm kind of getting, it's like this person could have ran to somebody, but then that didn't work out, and then they ran to somebody else, and now that didn't work out, and so on and so forth. And I feel like they're realizing I've been doing all this running, and it has gotten me nowhere, and I still can't get Taurus off of me, you know, like, and I just heard You All Over Me by Taylor Swift. They still have you all over them, and they can't shake this, right? And I feel like that's why, you know, and it's really interesting because it's like wedding rings, Grim Reaper right here, talking, like you two, so something has ended for them, talking, and I feel like they're realizing they wanted this with you all along. I want to have a family with you. They wanted this relationship or this marriage or this family that's ending. They wanted that with you. And so there's a talking stage here. 7 of Cups, Knight of Cups. And there's a point of, you know, asking yourself if you're ready to take a risk for somebody. But like I said, you need to find the sweet spot. You need to find the sweet spot. And I feel like you're going to be scared. Like, are you going to try to dominate me and control me like you have in the past? And this is speaking only about a past person coming back at this point. And so then you're like, okay, we can establish a friendship. And then, you know, you start to see this person a little bit different, but I feel like you're still a little scared about the toxicity, maybe even abuse from the past. And so you're just you're really hyper focusing on red flags, and you may need to just reel it back so you can see the situation as a whole. And perhaps they really do have red flags, that you're just like, no, I've got to get away from this person once again. But then you have this passion, insane chemistry. So I feel like for the majority of you, you are, and I do not condone going back to an abusive person. I just have to say, I mean, truly, because I mean, I believe that people can change, absolutely, but you know, trauma bonds are very real. And so if this person was like physically abusive to you, I personally don't feel like you should go back to that. If this person was emotionally, financially abusive to you, and they've done their work, I mean, even then I'm like, I don't know if I condone going back to that either. But sometimes people are unintentionally emotionally abusive. Like, they don't even realize that because they're so unawakened and they're so busy projecting all of their stuff onto you and all their issues, and they're so caught up in themselves that they don't even realize that they're being abusive. And that's what I'm saying. And so if that is your situation, then you may be sort of sussing it out and seeing if this person has really changed, and then there's passion. But I had to sort of put that little disclaimer in there because I do not condone going back to an abusive person, and I have to be very honest about that. As somebody who has come from that type of situation myself, that is not something that I condone. Okay. I'm just reading you the energy. So, for some of you, you are rightfully guarded because of whatever this was right here. Okay. And it has created a lot of barriers and boundaries for you with this person. Page of Cups, though, I feel like that this person, whether they were abusive or not, or if they were just toxic, I do feel like with this Page of Cups, like, this person wants to apologize to you. Okay. Like, they do. But anyway, and so, I mean, you definitely have new passion coming in, whether or not you choose to go back to an ex and reignite the passion, or if you decide to leave it behind here at this last card right here and say, no, you know, I thought about maybe trying to take a risk, decided to see if we could build a friendship, but I'm seeing things clearly now, and you stop it here, and then you have new passion with somebody else. For others of you, you're going to go all the way through. I hope that made sense, because I have to be really honest with you, it does seem like there's 2-3 different stories in the cards right now, and I have to read them all because they're there. Okay, so let's get you a closing oracle message from these. Closing oracle message for Taurus, please. Protection. Oh, Taurus. And see, that's kind of what I was feeling, because I was like, for some of you, you're just going to be protected from this person. Or you are going to protect yourself from this person. But like I was saying before, it's like you're needing to know the difference between like protecting yourself and overly protecting yourself and sabotaging a connection, if that makes any sense to y'all. It makes sense to me because I know, like, there have been times that I was so self-protective that, look, the blessings just came out. I was so self-protective that I had sabotaged things that would have been a really good connection just because of the fact that I was still wounded and still very, very triggered from past traumas. And so that's what I mean. But for some of y'all, okay, for real, like, a person that was really freaking toxic is trying to return. And I feel like you may try to just stick around to see if they've evolved at all. And you're just going to decide, no, thank you, I'm good, and move in another direction with somebody else. But I do feel like if that's not your story, then a past person you could be rekindling with, okay? And then the other one was you had 2 different options. But either way, something new is coming in, something old is coming in. It's a lot. But you were in, like, releases on the bottom of the deck, but then opportunity. And so I feel like a huge blessing is coming into your life. And I have to be really honest. I know that this is getting long. As a tarot reader, I have been reading tarot professionally for 4 years, and I've been reading tarot since over a decade. And with my clients, and I've had a lot of clients, I have noticed that every time you try to move on, the ex comes back. Like it, or almost in almost every case, with my clients, like they start trying to move on and the ex will just like feel it. Okay. So for those of you that don't want to go backwards, you're going to be releasing that person and embracing the blessings of a new opportunity in your life. Some of you will go backwards, and that's okay. You all have free will. All right, that was really long. I'm so sorry. Okay, I'm going to wrap this up. Thank you guys so much for viewing. I love you all so much. If you're looking for a personal session, you can book down below. Please be sure to like and subscribe. Really helps me grow my channel, and I really appreciate y'all so much. Have a wonderful day. Bye.